Let me talk a little bit more about what the federal government can and cannot do. Let me start with the banks. They want a proposal, or they have a proposal now. The Biden administration has it in the infrastructure bill. Internal Revenue Service will be notified by the banks on transactions, every transaction over $600. Janet Yellen in the Treasury Department is calling this collection of information routine. Really? Then why do you have to change the law on that? Now, she says it's because the banks already report interest on any bank account that earns more than $10 of interest.
I thought it was because they already routinely break the law.
Yeah, so they very well could be. Very well could be. This is, she says, right now, every bank account that earns more than $10 a year in interest, the banks report the interest earned to the IRS. That's part of the information base that includes W-2s and reports on dividends and other income that taxpayers earn. So collection of information is routine. Okay, great. Then why do you need more? Why do you need more information? Here's why. She said there's an enormous tax gap in the U.S., and that's the reason they need this information. Blaming the gap on places where information on income can be hidden. Okay? Well, if you want to talk about income that can be hidden, then let's talk about illegal immigrants. Okay? Let's talk about that. Yeah, no, I know. It's dangerous to even say illegal immigrants now. I know a lot of them steal somebody else's identity and pay taxes, right? But they're stealing someone else's identity and paying in. Others are paid in cash. Well, we should have digital currency. Do you see where this is going? Somebody's always going to be avoiding something somewhere. Illegal aliens, they pay taxes. How many times have you heard that? They pay taxes. They pay more taxes than most people. Do they? Do they? 60% of this population, as of last year, don't pay any taxes. You think the legal aliens are paying the tax? Do you? Really? This is to control you. You say something, you're on a different side. You're, to quote Joe Biden, complicit with the American decline because you disagree with him. You will see an IRS agent at your door. Now, here's the difference between America and the rest of the world. America was great because America was good. But what made America good? The people. The people made America good, not the government, the people and the churches. Our faith made America good. And we kept the government at bay. In other countries, you're assumed guilty. Here in America, you are innocent until proven guilty. By taking your information from your bank account, they're saying people are avoiding taxes. So they're deeming all of us guilty and saying we just got to find it. This is why we said, when people said, I'm not doing anything wrong, what difference does it make to me? Because if there's a political agenda, they will find something. They will tie you with all of the mega data that is available on you, all of the data. You don't think they can piece something together that maybe is completely untrue, but you don't think they could make a case and make your life miserable? Remember, in today's world, all you have to do is be accused of something. We don't wait for the trial. We don't believe people are innocent until proven guilty. We hear it on social media and they're guilty. This collection of information, if it is routine, it needs to stop because they are weaponizing everything. The IRS is being weaponized. The Treasury Department with the banks being weaponized. The FBI going in on local issues, not destroying federal buildings, but parents asking the local school board questions. Those people are now being deemed terrorists and Antifa Antifa, we couldn't send the FBI. We couldn't send any kind of federal aid out to Oregon. Do you remember what they said when we suggested that? Cut 6.
Some of the recent protests against police violence and racism have been met with a federal response. And in Portland, Oregon, local officials believe that presence is causing more harm than good.
It's like pouring gasoline on a fire.
Your presence here isn't wanted. It's not needed.
In the nature of the man to lash out, he thought, great, I'll send these federal guys to Portland. We can have a fight. But he hasn't thought through the consequences of it.
Federal agencies should never be used as your own personal army.
Trump troops in Portland are definitely not the answer. As we saw, this only escalates the tension, and we need dialogue and de-escalation.
I think it has a substantial chilling impact on First Amendment speech.
J. Ashley Albies, a civil rights attorney in Portland, worries the tactic may deter law-abiding citizens from participating in demonstrations.
Mayors of 5 major cities sent a joint letter to President Trump and Attorney General Barr today calling for the removal of federal officers from their cities, saying, quote, the unilateral deployment of these forces into American cities is unprecedented and violates fundamental constitutional protections and tenets of federalism.
He's stepping on his political influence onto the Department of Homeland Security to use this big law enforcement force to go beyond the scope of what their normal activities are to do.
Local officials there had been allowing peaceful demonstrations without too much interference. But President Trump was not happy about that. So he decided to send in the feds.
Okay, so let me just go over what they're saying. You know, I was being gracious to Joe Biden when Mike Lee shockingly said, no, Glenn, that's exactly what he meant. When I said he used the word complicit, saying if people in Congress don't go along with his spending packages, you're complicit in America's decline. Could you look that word up? That's a legal term. And it means you're involved in illegal activity to harm or steal. Do you have it by any chance? Mm-hmm. Yeah, keep looking it up. And I said, I'm sure he's just using that word. And he said, no, he's using that word directly. He knows exactly what that means. Now, listen, he's saying that. He's sending FBI into our local school board. He's calling parents terrorists. Let me just quote the left. That's like pouring gasoline on a fire. It's wrong to use the Fed officers as a personal army. It's only going to make things worse. It's what we need is dialogue. This is going to deter law-abiding citizens from actually protesting things in a law-abiding way. This is a violation of federalism. All of those things are true, and they knew it then. They know it now. They know it now. They know exactly what they're doing. They are pouring gasoline on a fire. They are using the FBI as a personal army, one for, I think, the labor unions. It is going to make things worse because we do need a dialogue. It will, if we don't stand up, if we don't know exactly what they're doing, it will deter law-abiding citizens. They know exactly what they're doing. They're itching for a fight. They want you to strike back. They want you to do it. They will use that as the excuse to transform everything overnight. You know, there's this talk about a national divorce. We are in civil war. Just one side is fighting it. We're in revolution. One side is fighting it. The left is fighting a revolution. The rest of us are in denial. The rest of us are trying to make sure that that doesn't happen. And I include some Democrats in that as well. I mean, your neighbor Democrats, unless they're crazy and you live in San Francisco. The people who are not blind and people who do still believe in the Bill of Rights. We're all standing around going, I'm not like that. I don't want to be like that. I'm so sick of Washington. I'm so sick of all of this. And we're standing around as they are changing the foundation of the very rocks we stand on. And it's going to end in a hot war because the left wants it. They want it. I don't. I don't think you do. But I do want to preserve my country. And I said 12 years ago, I'm willing to split the states right now. You take 25, we take 25. We get Texas. And you can take that. We get first pick, Texas. You can take whatever states you want. You pick 25. And you can leave us with all of the worst states. Okay? And we will cream you in the end. Economically, the health of our society, we'll clean your clock. But we have to build a wall around those 25 states. Let's just take everything from Texas on up. Okay? You can have the coasts. Fine. We're going to take from Texas on up. And we'll cream you. We'll cream you. Not because you don't have resources and we do, but because all of your policies are so screwed up, you'll be eating each other in a cannibalistic way within 10 years. And you know who you'll blame? Us. We have to have a wall. You're not coming in with your ideology. We have no contact with you because you will end up blaming us because you can't ever blame yourself. I'm absolutely willing to do that. No war. Just take it. Fine. Take the coasts. We're taking this. And I never want to hear from you again. You do your thing. We'll do our thing. But I'm not going to secede. I'm not seceding. The one thing that comes with this is you send all of those original documents to us. Because we're the United States of America. And there might even only be 25 of them. But we're the United States of America. You want to change it. You think those documents are bad. We say those documents are not being enforced. We're saying that no one is paying attention to that document. We will. We will. I don't need to change a darn thing in our Constitution. See, that's the difference. The South broke away because they wanted to change the rules. Fine. I don't want to change the rules. I want the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, and the Bill of Rights, and I want them enforced. That's what government is supposed to do. Enforce those things. I want them taught in schools. You can have everything else. I don't care. I don't care. Just leave us alone. We're at that place. And maybe it's time we start having that dialogue.